why young women don't want you, and how to become their fantasy. So, typical questions. You're 37 and girls in their 20s just aren't interested in you. What can you do? So that's actually around my age group. It's a question that was asked this week in my school community, and I actually hear it asked a lot within my boys, within people in my community. And the truth is, the reason younger girls don't actually want to date you probably isn't because you're actually older, but because you're not exhibiting the critical traits that make you her fantasy older guy. So in this video, I'm going to reveal to you the 7 critical traits that you need to embody and attract and keep relationships with young, attractive women. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys the simple, practical advice for successfully dealing with this topic when meeting younger women that so many guys get wrong. And here I've put a nice little photo of a slightly older guy with a younger, attractive woman, because it does happen and you know you've seen it. So, the first thing you need to have is a level of maturity and stability. Younger women are often drawn to older men because of the emotional maturity and stability that an older man brings to a relationship. So you've navigated the twists and turns of life, you've emerged more grounded, less reactive, you don't panic over the small problems, you don't act impulsively, or you don't fail to provide like a stable environment for a woman. Younger women sense instability in a man and it makes them weary, okay? An older, more successful man who is confident in his abilities, confident with how he controls his emotions, confident with his finances, provides a stable environment for a woman. I like the way I've put this guy in here. So, life experience and wisdom. Older guys have obviously been around the block more. I'm way more experienced than some 22-year-old idiot TikTok kid. You put me in front of a 21-year-old, 18, 19-year-old, I will crush that fool in seconds because I'm just a man. And it also helps that I look like a man and I train hard. But it's more so my life experience and my wisdom that I've collected over so many years. Older guys have obviously been around the block, and your experience should be a reliable source of wisdom to a younger woman. Younger men might have the energy, but they often lack that depth that comes from years of living in years of pain and years of experience. Man gets his experience and his life from pain and suffering that he's been able to climb out of and make a success of himself. When a younger woman comes to you with a problem or needs advice, you take this seriously and you give it a deep thought before you reply. A deep and a wise answer is what she wants and what she's expecting. Once she no longer trusts your advice or wisdom, then you're no longer fulfilling the older man role for her. Okay, so if your advice and your wisdom is kind of shit and she doesn't like what she's hearing, then you'll notice that she'll drift away from you at that point. The third thing is confidence and self-assurance. Got a picture of a nice, confident man here in a lovely suit. This man looks self-assured when you look at him. Younger women are obviously drawn to older men who radiate confidence because this is a signal that you're comfortable in your own skin. You're not dressed like a little 18-year-old with a stupid backwards cap on and a basketball jersey and like stumbling over your words and asking if she wants to play basketball with you. You're not some dumb kid like that. You actually look at this man sitting here with a lovely suit and a tie and he looks assured. That's what an older man brings to the table, self-assurance. It signals that you're comfortable. Okay? This self-assurance is like gravity, okay? It pulls people in because it shows you who you are and what you actually stand for. And as a man, what you stand for is absolutely key. Let your body language, your eye contact, calm demeanor, you always talk about James Bond and his calm demeanor. Let that do all the talking for you, okay? Don't be trying too hard to impress her or boasting about your past. Just relax. Young women are drawn towards men who have a calm demeanor. And who are quietly successful, not overly boastful all the time. This quiet, self-assured presence attracts people into your life, okay? Attracts the right kind of women into your life. Now, if you want the dumb younger girls because you bought 10 bottles in a club, she's not the right girl for you. She's just a hot girl that you can sleep with on the night. That's not the type of younger woman that you want around you. So this confidence is related to what I'll discuss at the end of this video, and it's actually critical to the self-entitlement that's needed to achieve the level of confidence that makes the younger girls chase you. A level of self-entitlement is actually positive in this instance. Independence. So older men are usually well established with their own lives. You can see here, I've just got a man who's standing on top of a hill, a mountain, on his own, signaling a level of strength and independence. He doesn't need anyone. Okay, he's got his life, he's got his hobbies, he's got his social circles, and yes, obviously, he's got money. Okay, that's you can't be broke and expect young girls to be impressed. Who wants a broke dude anyway? Nobody. If you're not dependent on your partner for emotional support, this can be a refreshing change for the younger woman, actually. Because this level of independence means she doesn't have to worry about you being needy or smothering her. She knows that you're the rock in the relationship. So when you have your own hobbies, your own interests, your own social life, you don't cling to a younger woman for validation or any emotional support. You are the emotional support. You need to be able to offer her the opportunity to share in the type of life that can only be created by a mature, successful, older, independent man. Commitment and seriousness. Okay, so younger women who are thinking like longer term, and this might be more around the 24 years old plus mark, they're often attracted to older men because they're more likely to be serious about commitment. Okay, so the younger girls, like I meet 18, 19-year-old girls in the club and we're at the table and they're just like, I just know they're just going to be fun and games. She's just too young and stupid and inexperienced. She hasn't seen the world. She hasn't seen enough things. Sure, I can take on an 18-year-old and, you know, I'm personally not down for having an 18-year-old as a girlfriend, to be completely honest. I don't know what floats your boat, but I don't have nothing to talk to her about. We're going to talk to her about stupid TikTok videos that she's swiping. I don't care about that. I want to talk about intelligent, important things in this world, and it's unlikely that an 18-year-old is going to talk about that. But once she reaches sort of 24 plus, if she's 25, 26, I'm finding that's a really good range of woman who actually wants to get relatively serious. So you've likely moved past the phase of kind of casual dating with a 24 plus, and they're more intentional about finding a meaningful relationship. Okay, so be clear about what you want, whether it's a serious relationship or something more casual, and you can actually communicate that up front. Okay, you don't have to play games as an older man. Younger kids play the games. You're a slightly older, more mature guy now. You don't need to play the games. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't younger girls who want to casually hook up with older guys. Of course there are. And if that's what you're also going for, that's fine as well. But, you know, try not to fall in love with the young 19-year-old girl as she's clearly not ready to actually be locked down. Sophistication and worldliness. This is something that I really like, and this is why I've spent the years traveling and dressing up well and always talking about James Bond and how he acts, okay? If you've lived a life well lived, your exposure to different cultures, ideas, and experiences makes you more worldly, okay, and educated. And in many ways, young girls do find that deeply attractive, and it allows her to look up to you as a bit of a teacher. Be like, wow, he's so worldly, he's been around, he's read books, he's intelligent, he's got the experience. They do value that. So she will love you if you can discuss art, travel, history, and ideas with depth and insight, not TikTok and cartoons and her arguing with her friend, which is surface level, pointless conversations in the grand scheme of things, right? But if your idea of sophistication is just knowing the names of a few fancy wines or mentioning that one trip that you took to Europe like many years ago, she'll become quite bored of the facade, right? Because you can't keep up the lie. And, you know, you want to actually start considering reading some books or, you know, getting Blinkist and getting summaries of books and just be an interesting person, have things to talk about. You know, like I've gone through thousands of book summaries, so I can touch upon lots of different topics. You can bring up any topic and I could talk about it. And that's super interesting for a woman, that you can talk about anything that's possible. And that's why I've got good women in my life right now, because I guide them and talk to them about the way of the world and I protect them. And that's very key. Emotional control. I've left this at the end because it's the most important one. An older man can provide a sense of emotional security that younger men just can't match, okay? You've developed the ability to stay calm and composed, even in a challenging situation, which creates a safe and stable environment for your partner. If you're prone to mood swings, jealousy, insecurity, you know, you don't know how to handle situations, you get all up in a puff, you get angry, you start shouting at people, you get road rage, then you're just going to look like all the guys that are her age, right? Because a 22, 23-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid doesn't know how to act like a 35-year-old man. So imagine you're a ship navigating through a storm, and a young man might be flashy with his speedboat and have all the energy and enthusiasm, but without the control when the waters get rough, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. You, on the other hand, you're more sturdy, you're reliable, you have a sturdy ship, you've been through this stuff before, it's a vessel that's seen many storms and knows how to sail through them calmly. Which ship would you rather be on? Which takes me to the second segment of this video, now that we've discussed the 7 critical factors. Now we want to talk about understanding a younger woman's preferences. We've got a beautiful young woman here. So if you are the ship that she can actually feel safe on, a man who's got his shit together, if you like, and the behaviors, the 7 behaviors we just went through actually resonate with you and resonate with your character, then you should understand that you are actually just as much of a prize as the young woman is. Right? I've highlighted this, saying as an attractive 20-year-old and a successful older man, you're actually both at the peak of your sexual market value. Just because she's 20 and she's gorgeous doesn't mean that she's got all the value and you've got nothing. Where I am now in my life, the things that I know, the money I have, the way I dress, the way I speak, I am at probably my highest sexual market value of all time. So when I'm talking to a 21-year-old, I'm like, yeah, I'm the man. I don't care if you're young and beautiful. My sexual market value matches yours, if not even greater than yours. So bear that one in mind. So how do you actually go about approaching these women? And like, you know, here's what you actually need to keep in mind to make sure that you don't sabotage yourself on the initial approach. First of all, don't be one of those guys that's lying about your age. Please don't do that. I know guys that are lying about their age on Instagram and I meant on Tinder and on Bumble, and you're just going to get caught. You know, what if things work out with her and you're lying about your age? It's just a dumb move. Don't do it. There's no point actually hiding your age because it will eventually come up. Okay? Set the tone for authenticity and honesty. And do expect the question to come up eventually. She's obviously going to ask you the question. And if you're an older man dating like younger women, the topic of age will likely arise. And rather than avoiding the subject and lying about it, you should be ready to address it confidently and without getting all defensive. And here's how you actually do that. So it's key to turn it into a non-issue. Right? You don't want to turn it into like some big deal. So reframe the conversation if a woman brings up your age as an issue. You know, for example, if she's saying, "Oh, you're too old for me," then instead of being like, "No, I'm not too old for you. What are you talking about?" The way you want to playfully challenge her perspective is say something like, "Oh, whatever. You're too young. You're a baby. You should be. How come you're still not living with your parents? You know, did mummy call you up today? Are you sure she did? Oh, are you daddy's girl?" Be playful and fun like that. That's the way that you show that you can pass the shit test and it's not really an issue for you. So you can also laugh and be like, "Oh, you haven't seen the best movies," or you just realize that actually age is just a number if there's a level of mutual attraction. You know, I might be X number of years old, but everyone in the bar is looking at me, so I must be attractive. So remain confident whether a woman questions your age or seems uncertain. She might even be trying to shit test you, okay, to see how you react. It's a very common thing for a woman, shit tests. You need to pass those. Staying calm and self-assured often turns the situation back in your favor, and you'll be demonstrating the traits that are attractive in an older man, okay, which is calmness and emotional control. If a woman decides you're actually too old for her, it's just simply a mismatch in preferences, and that's not a reflection on your overall desirability. Okay, so many women are either indifferent to age or some of them prefer older men. So not every younger woman is going to be interested in older men. There are plenty who will be if you approach the situation with the right mindset and presentation. Okay, if you're strong and you don't care, then you'll suss out if some women are interested in older men and some women just simply won't be. I remember I approached a woman a few months ago. I remembered it, and she was like, "I'm 17. You're too old for me." And I was like, "That's fair enough." I was like 17. I was like, "Oh, that sounds a little bit too young." And I was like, "You know what? That is absolutely fair enough. I completely understand. Have a wonderful day." And I made a joke at the end. I was like, "Come back to me in 10 years' time with a wink." Whatever. You know, just all fun and games. So I want you to embrace your age. Okay? Instead of seeing your age as a disadvantage, view it as an asset. View it as a positive. Your life experience and your maturity and your stability are all the things that younger men often lack. So own these qualities with pride. This is the most important point. I love this point. Stay fit and healthy. Physical fitness plays the largest role in attraction. When women say they want an older man, they want a hunk. Okay, they want this guy over here. He's an older dude. Look at this guy. This guy's looking like he's 60, but he's in absolutely outstanding shape. Okay? He's in good shape, which has boosted his confidence. He's well groomed. Fine, his hair's white, but the guy looks great. So if you boost your confidence by looking good, you'll be more appealing to younger women who value energy and vitality. You'll actually be more appealing to all types of women if you look like this guy right here. Also remember, always dress like James Bond, in my opinion. Okay, that's what, when you dress smart and sexy and suave, you will attract all types of women from all age ranges. So forget the backwards cap and the basketball jersey. It just doesn't work in all instances, unless you're young and super cool and super ripped and super tall. So always dress the part. Your wardrobe should actually reflect your personality. Comfortable, confident, stylish, without trying to look too hard and too young. If you're 60, don't wear too many backwards caps, bro. It just doesn't work. The key is to dress age appropriate, but with a bit of a youthful twist that shows you're young at heart. Okay, so get your perception right about this stuff. Here I've put another picture of an older guy who's ripped as hell with a cool tattoo, with white hair, well groomed, and this guy looks cool. You know, if women see this guy on a beach, they're going to be like, oh, he's hot. Oh, who's Silver Fox? Who's daddy? You know, like girls just come up with all this bullshit these days. Like, oh, daddy, Silver Fox. I've heard it all before when I've been hanging around young, hot girls. So if you're concerned about your age, your gray hair, or whether you're like too old for a woman in her 20s, that insecurity is actually going to seep into your interactions. And remember, people will perceive you the way you perceive yourself. So if you approach a younger woman thinking they're out of your league because of your age, you'll unconsciously communicate that through your body language and through your tone of voice and the words you choose, which undermines all of the desirable mature traits they're looking for. Okay? You are ultimately losing because you don't feel like you are capable or worthy of that girl. And she will feel that through your energy, your aura, and your subconscious messaging. So if you do not fully believe you are in your prime as a man and have the resources to back it up, then why would a woman in her prime choose you as her best opportunity? Okay? She wouldn't, but if you're on this channel, then you're actually dedicated to reaching that stage of masculinity where you've earned the value to experience abundance. And that's the mission that I'm striving for and that we're striving for every day over in my school community. And the link will be in the description. And every single day I have new men coming to me and wanting to improve their lives and wanting to improve their dating lives and their wealth and their fitness, which all come hand in hand to be able to attracting young, beautiful women.